Are you an independent HR consultant scared to charge what you know you're worth? Maybe you're scared of getting rejected or losing the client. If so, there's no shame in this. I know a lot of HR consultants struggle with the topic of pricing. After all, you didn't become an independent HR consultant so that you could become an expert on how to price your services, right? Well, if you are struggling with your prices, then you're in the right place, because in this episode, the first of a series on the topic of pricing your HR services, we'll explore the psychology of pricing so you can begin to understand how to confidently command your worth from your ideal clients. So strap yourself in, because this is an integral topic to the success of your HR consultancy, and a lot of you have been asking me to cover it. This is the Marketing Made Easy for HR Consultants podcast, a show to help independent HR consultants get a pipeline of perfect fit, high-paying clients without expensive adverts, time-consuming social media activities, or energy-sapping and monotonous networking meetings. I'm your host, Nick Paninsky, author of How to Land Your Dream Client, a book which explains everything you need to know to get every sale and client you ever want. And if that sounds interesting, then make sure to grab your copy from the influential consultant website today. That being said, let's get into today's show. Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Marketing Made Easy for HR Consultants with me, Nick Paninsky. Today's topic is a doozy. We're taking our first look at pricing, one of the most important and challenging topics for HR consultants, and something I get repeatedly asked about. So hopefully you enjoy today's topic. But before we get into it, I just wanted to give a quick update about what's happening in my world. Last week, I was in the lovely little village of North Cave, near Hull. It was a lovely spot with lots of trees and countryside. Very beautiful, stunning. This week, I'm back at my parents', but it's very temporary, hopefully. I'm off flat hunting in the city of Manchester in the coming week, so I will be moving out ASAP. Then it'll be time to find a co-work space to help with my productivity levels and to find some exciting activities as I start my life back in England again. I don't think I've quite finished with house sitting and dog sitting just yet, so be prepared to hear more stories about that. But for now, I'm concentrating on building a life in Manchester. I'm also intending to start professionally networking because I'm very much a people person and I love meeting new people. So if you know any events in Manchester I should check out, then reach out to me on LinkedIn and give me some tips. I'd love to hear from you. But enough about that. Let's get into today's topic of pricing, and specifically why you're tempted to charge so little, why you shouldn't, and what you can do instead. Firstly, let's all agree that pricing is always a difficult topic for HR consultants, because while self-employment sounds like a dream, the realities of it can be a touch different, and there's loads to learn, as I'm sure you know. Obviously, there's the marketing and sales aspect, the self-management of getting work done and getting out of your comfort zone, and then there's the pricing aspects, how much to charge people. This is always difficult because there's so much at play here, including who you are, your upbringing, the news you take in and from whatever source it comes from, the geography, where you are in the country, etc., etc. So today, we're going to discuss and explore the psychology of pricing from your perspective and from the perspective of your lead or client. So why you want to charge what you want to charge, why you should charge more and what's stopping you, and what your client or lead is thinking when you do all this. I'll also drop in some tips and tricks here and there so you get started on implementing positive changes immediately. Then in the coming weeks, we'll discuss more about the psychology of pricing and how to actually price your services so you get paid what you're worth every single time. So as per the title of this episode, today we're going to be looking at the fear of losing clients. This is why so many HR consultants underprice their services. First bit is a fear of scarcity. One of the main reasons that HR consultants underprice their services is the fear of losing clients. This is often driven by a scarcity mindset, where consultants believe there is a limited number of clients who can afford their services. They think that by lowering their prices, they can attract more clients and keep their business afloat. And that makes sense to an extent, right? If something is cheap, more people will be able to afford it. But I'm sure you can see the problems with this. It means you need a lot more clients to achieve your financial goals, and it means you have to attract a lot of clients, again, to ensure you're busy consistently. Equally, if everyone does end up coming to you for your HR services, you'll be run off your feet, you'll be maybe delivering bad quality work, or you'll be reaching the limit of how many people you can actually work with and then being broke at the end of every month because you simply aren't charging enough. Another common reason for underpricing is the pressure to match or undercut competitors' prices. When consultants see competitors with more experience or a larger client base charging certain rates, they may feel compelled to offer lower prices to attract clients. And again, that makes sense, right? Jill over there is super successful and she charges X, so I should charge less than X so I can attract clients. But you don't really understand why Jill is charging X. There may be a whole lot of reasons why she's doing what she's doing. And importantly, just simply undercutting her won't necessarily help you win clients. People don't just go for the cheapest offer, as we'll soon see. More importantly, for the HR consultancy service as a whole, cutting prices just leads to a race to the bottom. And then HR consultancy is viewed as cheap and none of you will be able to charge high prices. But specifically for you, you'll end up charging too little and end up in the scenario we discussed a second ago, where you do too much work for too little reward. So avoid trying to compare yourself to others. That's not a good basis for pricing your services. Your services and your prices are your business, figuratively and literally. Their prices can be a good indication of what you could charge, but ultimately, they aren't the only data point to consider, and charging less certainly won't help you win clients. Jill's clients will be reluctant to leave her if she's doing a good job, and if you decide to try and approach them to try and steal them. Whereas new clients, well, they won't care in the slightest about Jill's offerings and prices. They'll be more interested in what you can do for them. Another fear that drives HR consultants to have low prices is insecurity, a lack of confidence in one's abilities and the value of one's services that can lead to underpricing. Consultants may doubt whether their service is worth more than what they currently charge, and that self-doubt can be fueled by a lack of positive feedback, insufficient client testimonials, or simply the internal narrative that you're not as capable as others in the field. These fears also have psychological impacts for HR consultants and their desire to charge higher prices. There's a fear of rejection. See, charging higher prices can feel like a risk because it may lead to potential clients saying no. And this fear of rejection is powerful, and it can cause HR consultants to set prices lower to avoid hearing that no. The thought of losing a potential client because of pricing can be daunting, especially when financial stability is a concern. This leads to a compromise on pricing, right? Thinking it's better to have a client at a lower rate than no client at all. The problem there, as we've already discussed though, is that not everybody is interested in price, and charging too little will lead to overwork, stress, burnout, resentment, all that bad stuff. Another fear that comes from the fear of losing clients and that tendency to undercharge for your services is the imposter syndrome. Many HR consultants, maybe yourself, they experience this imposter syndrome, where they feel like they're not as competent as others perceive them to be. And this self-doubt, this can lead to lower pricing as a way to compensate for perceived inadequacies. Imposter syndrome can make you feel that you need to prove your worth by being the most affordable option, which unfortunately often results in being undervalued and overworked. So where does this fear of losing clients come from? Well, for HR consultants, it often stems from a lack of confidence in the value they provide. Okay, so there is a lack of self-evaluation. This is one of the causes. Many consultants don't take the time to fully evaluate and appreciate the impacts of their services. This lack of self-awareness regarding the benefits they provide can lead to undervaluing their work. In the HR world, this is one of the biggest blockers to us being recognized as delivering the value that we do, right? There's no clear, unadulterated link between ourselves and a return on investment for a business. It's not like manufacturing where you can point at a machine and say it's removed the need for 10 people and therefore it's saving you $250,000. We can't point at a recruitment strategy and showcase how much money it saved them. Equally, feedback loops are often missing. Without regular positive feedback from clients, HR consultants might continue to doubt their value. They don't hear enough about the positive changes they're facilitating, and that reinforces their insecurity. So if you don't hear how the recruitment strategy you've implemented has consistently found the best candidates, then you'll be left wondering if what you did was any good, right? And that's a shame, because all we can rely on as HR consultants is qualitative data, feedback, testimonials. So when you don't get those, there is that lack of confidence in the value that you provide, and then that will then instigate that fear of losing clients. Another factor in the lack of confidence in the value they provide is misjudging the market value. HR consultants often fail to research and understand the market rates for their services, and this lack of market awareness can lead to setting prices based on personal feelings rather than market standards. I know that the HR Independent Service conducted a survey recently about the prices that HR consultants charge, and they released a report about the fees from 2022. So that's a great place to look find some indicators for what prices could be charged. That being said, remember that it isn't a complete given about what you should be charging. It's just a little indicator, a data point to consider. There's also the issue of comparing apples to oranges. HR consultants might compare their services to others without considering differences in specialization, experience, and client outcomes. That can lead to inappropriate pricing strategies. So they compare themselves to HR consultants with years of experience or different marketing. Your unique skills and the specific value you bring to clients should be the primary driver of your pricing strategy, not a blanket comparison to others in the industry. So how do we overcome this fear of losing clients so that we can charge more for our HR services? Well, we've got a few ways you can do that. Firstly, build confidence through self-development. Investing in ongoing education and training can enhance your skills and increase your confidence in the value you provide. Attending workshops, obtaining certifications, and staying updated with industry trends can help you feel more confident and competent. The more knowledgeable and skilled you are, the more justified you'll feel in charging higher prices, right? You're an expert. Get paid like one. The next step you might want to consider is gathering and analyzing client feedback. So actively seeking feedback from clients can help you understand the positive impact of your services. Testimonials, case studies, they also provide tangible proof of value. So regularly reviewing and reflecting on feedback can reinforce a consultant's belief in their worth and the quality of their work. So make it a habit to request feedback at the end of every project and use this feedback to continuously improve and validate your pricing. For me, I like to ask my clients, how would you rate the work that I've done for you out of 10? If it's anything 8 and above, amazing. I love it. If it's anything less than 8, so 7 downwards, I know I've got work to do. They're not as happy as I want them to be, so I need to do more to ensure that they are happy with what I've done for them. You may want to consider doing the same thing. Once you've got 8 and above, that's the time to get a LinkedIn recommendation through. Once you start to get LinkedIn recommendations and customer feedback, you can start to review these messages. And these messages will seep into your subconscious brain. You are great at your job, and you are worth what you charge and more. And if you think this is a bit woo-woo, compare that messaging to constantly hearing negative feedback. Would you have any faith in yourself if people were repeatedly questioning you and your skills? Of course not. So pay attention to the positive feedback and take it on board and celebrate it when it happens. There's not much better than being told you're awesome, right? It's something we craved as kids and something we continue to crave as adults. Everyone likes to be told they're good and they're adding value. Speaking of which, if you haven't done so yet, take 2 minutes to leave me a positive review on podchaser.com. I very much appreciate it. The next step in overcoming your fear, well, you could consider setting personal achievements and milestones. Setting and achieving personal milestones can build confidence. These can include client acquisition goals, successful project completions, or positive client testimonials. Celebrating these small wins helps build a positive mindset and reinforces the value that you provide. So track your successes and use them as a reminder of your capabilities and the value you bring to your clients. You may want to consider some sort of physical representation in your office, or you may want to consider having an experience, going out for dinner to celebrate, or going on holiday, something good like that, where you can say, yes, this is what I've achieved because I've done X, Y, Z. Another step to overcoming the fear of losing clients is to reframe your mindset. High prices can attract higher quality clients. Higher prices often signal higher quality, you see. Clients seeking the best results are usually willing to pay more for premium services. That means that pricing higher can attract clients who value quality over cost. You need to articulate your unique value proposition clearly, highlighting what sets you apart from your competitors. And if you can clearly demonstrate those unique benefits and outcomes of your services, clients will understand that and accept higher pricing. We've spoken previously about marketing, about positioning, so I'm not going to go into that today. But one thing I will say is if you're doubting what I'm telling you about higher prices attracting higher quality clients, think about Rolex, think about Ferrari, think about Yves Saint Laurent. These all get people who just pay the money so they can have the high quality product. So if you have a high quality product on offer, a high quality service, put the high prices there. People will come, check you out and say, okay, this guy knows what they're talking about. This woman, she's an expert. I'm going to work with her. If you have any doubt about this whatsoever, then think about the phrases that we use. Buy cheap, buy twice. Reassuringly expensive. Phrases like these are all tied into pricing to help you realize that high prices generally mean high quality. I gave this as an example a second ago when I was talking about the likes of Yves Saint Laurent, but building a premium brand helps you price high. See, pricing high can position you as a premium provider in the market, and this perception can lead to enhanced brand recognition and reputation. A premium brand attracts clients who are looking for the best, which can lead to more referrals and a stronger client base. So when you position yourself as a premium service provider, you not only attract clients willing to pay more, but you also differentiate yourself from the competition. So let's look at some practical steps to reframe your mindset and overcome your fears. Firstly, market research. Conduct thorough research to understand the market rates for HR consulting services. Knowing what others charge can help set realistic and competitive prices. This research can include reviewing competitors' websites, industry reports like I talked about, salary surveys, all that good stuff. And understanding that market landscape gives you a solid foundation to justify your prices. Next, you want to look at value articulation. So clearly define and communicate the unique value you bring to your clients. This includes specific outcomes, benefits, and the impact of your services. So develop strong marketing materials that highlight customer stories, client testimonials, case studies to demonstrate value. Effective communication of your value can help potential clients see why your services are worth the investment. The next step to consider is incremental pricing increases. Gradually increasing your prices over time rather than making a sudden large jump can help you accommodate more and get used to the fact that you're charging higher prices. This allows you effectively to adjust, to adapt to market response. And testing different pricing levels with new clients can help you find the optimal price point that reflects your value. Small incremental increases are less likely to scare off potential clients, and they can help you build confidence in your pricing strategy. Next is professional development. So invest in personal and professional development to continuously improve your skills and knowledge. This not only enhances your service quality, but also boosts your confidence. So join professional networks and groups to stay connected with peers, share experiences, and gain insights on pricing strategies. The more you invest in your growth, the more justified you will feel in charging higher prices. Finally, self-reflection and mindset shifts. So encourage regular self-reflection to recognize and combat negative thought patterns related to pricing. Positive affirmations and visualization techniques can build a more confident mindset. So regularly remind yourself of your achievements and the value you bring to your clients. Shifting your mindset to one of abundance and confidence can significantly impact your pricing strategy too. And there you have it. That's today's episode. So to wrap up, understanding and addressing the psychological barriers to pricing can help you confidently set prices that reflect your true value, can help you attract higher quality clients, and can help you achieve greater success in your HR consultancy. So remember, invest in your continuous learning and development. Seek and utilize client feedback to reinforce your value. Conduct thorough market research and understand your unique value proposition. Gradually increase your prices and test different levels. By doing all this, you can overcome the fear of rejection and price your services in a way that truly reflects your worth. And that's it for this week's episode. Thank you for listening to Marketing Made Easy for HR Consultants. As ever, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with your colleagues. And until next time, keep marketing, because without marketing, there's no sales. And without sales, there's no business. So get marketing. Hey there, and thanks for listening to the Marketing Made Easy for HR Consultant podcast. If you've enjoyed the show, then please consider taking a moment to help us grow by sharing the episode with a friend or colleague, or by leaving a positive review on podchaser.com. And make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming episodes. I've been your host, Nick Peninsky, and if you have any questions or want to know more about today's topic, then reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'd be delighted to hear from you. See you next time. For this week's LinkedIn What's Hot and What's Not Hot, I wanted to talk about a posting strategy. We'll explore this further in a dedicated episode in the coming weeks. So this is a over-the-top view, very detailed light. But for now, I wanted to say that posting on LinkedIn is very important for your positioning and for potential clients. However, whatever changes you make to your posting strategy, don't expect clients to invade your DMs demanding to work with you. That's unlikely to happen without a hell of a lot of work. But there are ways you can change your LinkedIn posting strategy to increase the impacts of your post. So what's hot is having a calendar where you understand what content is going to be posted on what day of the week. This helps you to understand what to do and when to do it without having to think too much about it in the moment. It also increases productivity and increases the possibility of you creating a post which is awesome and drives engagement or impact. What's not hot is posting randomly and haphazardly. Just turning LinkedIn on and posting whatever comes to mind can be good for you. After all, posting on LinkedIn is more about your positioning than generating engagement and worrying about the algorithm. And what I mean by that is that LinkedIn is somewhere prospective clients will come to check you out, but they aren't necessarily on there scrolling around looking for a HR consultant. That being said, if you don't have a strategy or a calendar, then you probably aren't making the most of your posts, your ideas, or your existing content. So yeah, consider creating a content calendar with key things to post about on key days of the week. Anyway, that's it for this week's LinkedIn What's Hot and What's Not Hot. If you have any thoughts, then DM me on LinkedIn at Nick Peninsky, as I'd love to hear from you. Bye for now.